What is a big mistake that you've made or a big regret that you have that you learned a valuable lesson from?
Oh, now that's
When I turned 60, I thought it was the end of the world.
The ugly truth is everyone needs some money.
If I would have bought that, it'd be hundreds of thousands.
They always say it's not too late, it's not too late, but it's too late.
Have you ever wondered what the regrets of some of the richest people in the world are? What about pieces of life advice that they would give to someone of your age? In this video, I'm gonna be interviewing a series of millionaires right here in Laguna Beach, California, one of the richest areas in the US, about their biggest pieces of life advice and their deepest regrets. How old are you?
Oh, I'm 82 3/4.
What does it feel like to be 82 3/4?
When I turned 80, I threw a very big party for myself, and I had a wonderful time. I had 7-piece band, 70 people, I did the whole deal. It's been downhill ever since.
Your body sort of gives out on you, and you wish you were young.
You're a lot slower. You wish you took more time when you were 50.
I can't believe it's already here.
You have a lot of friends that are gone, and it just makes you enjoy each day because you just don't know how many you have.
A third of my high school is gone. I never had that thought before. You know, you had to live that, you had to experience that.
The silver lining to age, because there's not many. You no longer have to prove yourself so much to people, and the people in your life that aren't loving, kind, and respectful, you can walk away from instead of making the effort to possibly change them instead of changing yourself to fit into theirs.
What did you do for a living?
I started off in sales and worked my way up to be a CEO of a major company.
What was that company, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, it was several companies. I was CEO, general manager of TOW Credit Data, which is now known as Experian. Do you know Experian? About credit? Okay.
I don't. Sorry.
And then I became president of Comdata Corporation and then TOW Innovus.
Did you enjoy those jobs?
I loved them, yeah. Because we were able to achieve a lot. But because I had an objective in life.
Everyone always says find a job that you love, but what is it about that job that you love?
Oh, well, just interacting with people. You see, when I was young, I thought a salesman was a person who went and knocked on doors and sold clothes brushes. But when I got into sales, I was selling adding machines and accounting machines, and I was 19 years old. And I just met some lovely people.
What is one big mistake that you have made in your life, or one regret that you have that has shaped you or helped you learn a valuable lesson?
You know, I'm at 42 years old, I've come to the point where I realize that there really are no regrets, there are just learning lessons, you know. If you regret, there's got to be a sense of bitterness in your heart, and to be free of bitterness, you just accept everything you've done, may be good or bad, and learn from it and move on and know that it was done, it was meant to be, so there's no point in regretting, just learn from it.
What do you do for a living?
I look after a project management company in construction.
Digital marketing in the banking industry.
I was in sales and marketing, gave me an opportunity to be exposed to a lot of different people.
Did you love what you did?
Loved what I did.
Got out of high school at 64. I worked as a welder in a machine shop, and then I moved and I poured concrete for 7 years. Pays good, but it'll tear your body up. Then I moved into management. I was in management something like 28 years.
And I was an insurance agent for close to 20 years.
What did you love specifically? A lot of people work in jobs they might not love, but they don't really know what it is to love.
The freedom and exposure to many different types of people because of what I sold, which was communications. So I wasn't limited to one venue of business or whatnot.
Yeah, I think the key is working with people who you really like working with. I think that's ultimately why I like my job so much.
How would you advise someone to be happy? Because a lot of advice that you hear on the internet is just be happy, focus on being happy. But how do you actually do that?
I think people are unhappy because of too much communication. There's no time to actually check your facts, and sometimes you don't need to know all the bad stuff.
The whole social media environment gets people disconnected from each other. There really isn't a substitute for person-to-person interaction, and without the facial cues and the intonations and all the rest of the stuff, it just takes a lot of the quality out of life.
You know, you've got to find contentment and satisfaction with what you have in this world and stop wanting what others have. Be happy with what you have and know that it's all temporary. The only guarantee we have in this life is that we will die. We will die. We know that for sure. Other than that, we don't know anything else.
What I see a mistake a lot of young people are making is they feel like, okay, my parents have this great big house. I need to move out and move into a house just like theirs. Instead of not realizing, okay, your parents probably started out in a little efficiency apartment or a one-bedroom apartment. Start slow. You don't have to live your dream right now. You can move into your dream, because if you don't, then what do you got to look forward to?
Take time to yourself. yourself. Value your alone time. Understand when you are being overstimulated. Understand when you're thinking a certain way because of influences and actions. Get to know yourself very well. Otherwise, you will never be able to know anybody else.
6 years ago, I was at one of the lowest points in my life. I was working in a bank job that I hated, and I had just come off a very destructive relationship. And so I turned to journaling as an escape. Now, throughout the journey, I've realized that there are a lot of problems with journaling. I would always find myself using multiple different journals to get the result that I felt I needed. 2 years ago, I started on the journey to solve that problem. I created this book, which is a 365-day workbook that is designed to help you change your life for the better in just 1 year. I've personally been using this for the last 2 years and trying to test it out to find the best possible version to give to you. But I do want to get your opinion as well. If you click the link in this description, you'll get access to a free PDF, which includes a 7-day journaling challenge using the exact template and descriptions that we have in this book. The goal is to do exactly what all these interviewees are saying. Get to know yourself, understand who you are, and place a priority on figuring that out. Because if you can do that, then you can go out into the world and do whatever you want to do. What is a big mistake that you've made or a big regret that you have that you learned a valuable lesson from?
I think I made a big mistake by trusting someone who I know that was irresponsible. And I didn't carry through on it because I felt that I could turn that person around. And I didn't.
Don't continuously look at building things for your old age, live in your current life, because you're building for your upcoming life, but then you're missing a lot of things here, you know.
Do you have an example of something?
I came from India, leaving my parents there, you know, so I feel like I should have been there, living the life there, enjoying the life there with them. I could have stayed there, you know. I could have enjoyed there more.
You think you would have been happier there?
I feel so. I mean, less money. The life is a little tougher there, but I think nowadays it's getting better as well.
We didn't travel extensively enough when we were young. We started traveling when we were old, and we're glad we did that. But there are things you can do when you're young, when you travel, that we can't do now.
You know, I look back and I look at mistakes I've made, but if I didn't make those mistakes, I wouldn't be who I am. When I turned 60, I thought it was the end of the world. So I thought, I wonder how other women feel when they turn 60. So what I ended up doing was I interviewed over 70 women between the ages of 60 and 90, and on various questions similar to what you're doing. What I concluded were most women were very much freer over 60 than they were before that. I learned that when you get a little older, you stop worrying about the oughts, coulds, woulds, and shoulds. And as I say, now when I go to the supermarket, I don't have to put on my makeup. I just hope I don't see anybody I know.
In one of my roles, I went around a guy I was working for to try to accomplish a bigger goal for the project. He was someone who had been identified for fast promotion through management and the rest of it. But I realized later on that I had not helped my own cause and had hurt his at the same time, and that what goes around comes around. You need to try to see the big picture all the time.
I would say for me as a younger person, not taking risks and pushing myself out of my comfort zone. I think again, as you get older and probably more experience, you are willing to take risks and push yourself out of that, you know, fear.
I see people that made investments that I had the opportunity to make that I didn't make.
What's an example of something that you wish you would have invested in?
They first offered gold on the market. It was $33 an ounce. And I had $1,000 worth of cash laying on my dresser. And she asked me one Sunday morning, she said, "What are you going to do with that?" And I said, "I'm going to buy gold." If I would have bought that in gold, it would be hundreds of thousands.
Not furthering my education. I did minimal junior college and then jumped into the world. And I regret that all the time. They always say, it's not too late, it's not too late, but it's too late.
What is something that we tend to put a lot of priority on when we're younger, but that as we get older we realize isn't that important?
I would say keeping up appearances. You don't really care the older you get.
I would say money and career when you're young, and I think as you get older it's more about experiences.
A lot of younger people are really focused on making money and getting rich. How do you come to that realization at a younger age so that you can be happier and more fulfilled?
The ugly truth is, everyone needs some money and everyone wants a nice lifestyle, like going on vacation, so you have got to prioritise careers and making sure you earn enough to satisfy what you want to do.
Rating yourself against others, rather than rating yourself as you believe you should be rated, right? And being yourself.
How do you do that with all the distractions in the world?
Well, that's true. Clearly you have to have a plan. You have to have an objective in life.
The first half of your life you spend accumulating things. The other half you can't even give it away.
So materialism, basically.
Completely.
Do you think we prioritize work too much when we're younger?
Definitely. As the saying goes, when you're on your deathbed, nobody says, "I wish I'd spent more time at the office."
So given all this, what advice would you give to someone younger than you?
Stop trying to be all things to all people and just be true to yourself.
To stay in school. My uncle told me this. He said, what are the two most important things in life? To increase your ability to become aware, number one, and to increase your ability to learn. And through those two things, all diversity can be managed.
Don't look at your future much more, I mean, you should definitely think about it, but don't spend your entire current life, in just thinking about the future. Live your life fully.
The wealth you accumulate is not what you're remembered for, it's the people in your lives.
Be patient, kind, and honest, and be willing to work your way to the top.
Don't give up on that dream. If your dream is to have that car, work for it. But don't feel you have to have it right now. Enjoy working for it.
Be true to yourself. Don't be what you're supposed to be what you want to be, and try to find the happiness in every moment, even the bad things, because if you can look at adversity and observe it, it'll walk around you. If you challenge it, it will come at you.
Don't just believe that what you think is right and everyone else who doesn't believe what you do is either crazy or evil. Use your own mind to come to the judgment of what you think is right.
Each day is a gift and it's a miracle, and just enjoy what you have instead of moaning about the past or obsessing about the future.
A relationship with a partner long term is incredibly essential to a person's life. I would recommend that people invest a lot of care and patience and tolerance towards being with a partner, because if that works out well, I think the rest works out pretty well too.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, then you'll definitely like this video right here. If you haven't already subscribed, please make sure to do that. I'm Will, and it's a mindset. See you next time.